Knows Best.
Hi, friends, and welcome back to Brenna Knows Best. I'm your host, Brenna Berg. Hi, how are you guys? Happy Friday. Hi, I just want to let you all know that when I actually have a podcast room when we move, the podcasts are going to pop the fuck off because I just filmed next Monday's episode right before this because I have a lot of shit I need to do. And I was sitting upright as I do on my bed and the pillows were not functioning and I couldn't rest back and it was driving me crazy. Therefore, today, if you're not watching, I'm up against the wall. I have my pillows, I'm in bed, but I'm in a different position. That way I have the wall behind me because it's such a worse angle. This is my bad side, but I'm comfier and I need to be able to relax and rest, especially for the Friday pod when we're just hanging out and chit chatting. I just want to let you know that in 2 months when we move, it's going to be a game changer and I'm so freaking excited. And also this morning, Carter's partners that he works for are out of town and therefore he doesn't really need to go into the office. And honestly, this week he hasn't had a lot of work to do. And he was like, do I need to leave? And I was like, yes, because I have so many things I need to film. You have to get out of here. And actually, he went to his best friend's office at the Crescent, which is amazing. He's like, I'll just go there and work from his office and so on and so forth. But I'm like, thank you. Therefore, I'm doing these podcasts back to back. And he's like, I cannot wait until we move and we have another room and an office. That way I can stay here, but you can still film. And I'm like, no, totally. I was kind of getting this weird, we have not secured a place to live yet. Update. Which this is how it's going to go. We probably won't secure a place for another month, which is less than a month prior to our move out date, which is so freaking stressful. But I know it's all going to work out. But for a second, I'm like, oh, should we just have renewed? But no, we need another bedroom. We need more space. That's where we're at with that. While we're talking about what the frick is going on, I did a lot of elopement research this weekend, and I want to talk through it with you guys because we didn't do jack shit this weekend. First of all, last weekend we didn't do anything, and then Friday night I looked at Carter and I'm like, okay, we just need to have designated time where we're intentional, whether that's a dinner out or a dinner in. I'm fine resting and relaxing, but what's the deal? What are we doing with our lives here in Dallas? What is there to do when it's 100 fucking degrees? Right? But I digress. And Carter went and hung out with his friend who he's at his office right now this weekend for a little bit. And I made a TikTok last week talking about how we got engaged over Thanksgiving and I still have nothing planned, which there's obviously moving factors that I didn't talk about. The money is the big thing right now. After this month, y'all, this week, so Carter and I both get paid on the 15th. We are going to do a big payment to the student loans. We're finally going to break $100,000. We're at $100,000 right now. And we're going to be under. And that, honestly, I'm so excited to press pay, even though it doesn't process for a few days. But that's amazing. And then we have one more pay period at the end of the month. And then next month, we're reorganizing. We're going to take a step back. We're going to do the minimum payment. And then I'll have some payments come in. And we'll finally be able to plan our elopement. And here is the information that I know for certain, I think. I know for certain, I know we're a hot mess. I think we're going to do January because this January, Carter really was slow with work after the holidays. They had deadlines and then it was really slow. And he said, I think January would be a great time. And it's soon enough that it's finally we're going to get married, but late enough that way we can, because here is the other thing. When you plan a trip, especially maybe this isn't always the case. I don't know because I haven't really booked something like this before. When you're booking at these resorts or wherever we're going to stay, these hotels, and it's not, we're trying not to be super expensive, but we're also trying to have a luxury-ish experience. We don't want to stay at a $200 hotel in the Caribbean, but we also don't want to spend $2,000 a night. We're trying to find a happy medium where it's nice and good service and good quality, but the best bang for our buck. But all of these places, you do about a half deposit now of like what the stay will be, and then the rest when you get there or like closer to the date. And also, I'm not sure if we're doing all inclusive. Again, another thing we're figuring out because we don't know exactly where we're going. But if we don't, which it's looking like we probably won't, because we don't drink. Here's the thing. If you're all inclusive and you drink, that's one hell of a deal. But me and Carter don't drink. Therefore, a lot of these places, it's like at least $500 more a night, if not more, like added on to your stay for the all inclusive. But it's like, realistically, like what will we be eating, right? Like, will we be going off of the resort? Like, is it worth it for us if we're not drinking? Do you get what I'm saying? Anywho, we're thinking that we will not do all inclusive, which means we'll have to have money at the time of January to spend when we're there for excursions, to tip people, to eat, right? And we just feel like January will be a good time. Well, here is where I'm struggling. Number one, I made a list. Oh, let me actually pull it up, of direct flights out of DFW, because in my dream world, it would be a direct flight. Like, I just want a seamless, the less time, the better. I don't want things to go wrong. I want as much time on the actual vacation as possible. Well, here are, in the Caribbean, that does not include Mexico because we aren't doing Mexico, direct flights from Dallas or DFW. It goes, number one, to the Bahamas. It goes to Puerto Rico. It goes to the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana in specific, Montego Bay, Jamaica. It goes to the Grand Cayman Islands. It goes to Turks and Caicos. It goes to St. Thomas, the U.S. Virgin Islands. And, on here it says Tulum, Mexico. Those are the direct flights from Dallas. And therefore, at first, I was like, let us do this. And then I started researching, then I started looking, and I immediately went to Turks and Caicos. I'm like, I've heard amazing things. It looks gorgina. I'm looking around, and I'm like, it kind of just looks like a beach, and that's it. And I'm having a hard time deciding because me and Carter are like do things people. Like, we like to hike. We like to be outdoors. Like, I'm sure we would have a magnificent time just sitting on the beach. But like, are there excursions like boats, snorkeling? And of course, at any of these islands, there's stuff like that. But then, I come across Sugar Beach, St. Lucia. That is the resort. That's the beach. It's called Viceroy, Viceroy is like the head company, Sugar Beach. They have stays. Number one, they have plunge pools in the room. And that's something that I would really like. I would really like to have a nice room. And once I was looking around before, like even Costa Rica, when we were looking at other places, Antigua, is that how you say it? Or Antigua, I don't freaking know. Some of these places have like plunge pools or like hot tubs in your room or like at your place out on the balcony. And I'm like, oh, for our honeymoon, like that's hot, that's sexy. I would love to spend a lot of time with Carter, like in our room, when we wake up at nighttime. Like, I just think we would enjoy that. Well, Sugar Beach has that. And here's the thing about St. Lucia and Sugar Beach in specific. They have these, I think they're called pitons, Pitons, pitons. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but they're like, I think it might be a volcano, or there is a volcano nearby, but they're these like really huge, hilly, green, like mountain-esque situations. Look up what a piton is. Actually, let me look it up and share with you what that is. And maybe I can have this girl, when you put in define, did I explain this to you? Here, you can like click on this little speakerphone button and then it'll tell you. Oh, piton. Oh my God.
Piton.
Got it. Piton. I wasn't even close. Amazing. It's a peg or spike driven into a rock or crack to support a climber or a rope. Excuse me, what does piton mean? A spike or peg that is driven. I'm sorry. Okay, anyways, look it up. Google St. Lucia, Piton, whatever. Piton. I need to say piton. Super like geographical, super topography-esque, super hilly, terrainy, nature, like gorgina. Whereas a lot of these other islands, they're beautiful, don't get me wrong, but not as much scenery. And like I came across this and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like our dream, because it is very Costa Rica-esque. And I'm still going back and forth on Costa Rica. Like that's a direct flight. When Carter was gone, I was like looking up all this information, Googling, ChatGPT, and then he came home, and then we look up on YouTube this new Ritz-Carlton in Costa Rica, and Carter's like, wow. And I'm like, oh, babe, because it's like $2,000 a night. I'm like, do we really want to spend $20,000? He's like, no. And I'm like, then quit looking up at the Ritz, the Four Seasons. Like these are just really expensive. We need to like really set your expectations. Mine are set and I'd be happy with anything, but you need to come back down to earth, right? Well, then I go on this like St. Lucia does not have a direct flight. There would be a connection in Miami. And I'm like, okay, it's not the end of the world. I all of the sudden decided on St. Lucia. I'm like, okay, this is where we're going. The price is amazing. There's the plunge pool. There's scenery, cool, fun, great. Well, then I start doing more research and I'm like, do I really want to do the connection? And then I'm looking at these places that I just listed off that have direct flights. I'm really just struggling when it comes down to it. I think once I have the funds in our account and I finally just plan it, I'll just sit down, I'll do some more research, and I'll kind of maybe close my eyes, have a map and go, doink, we're going here. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm really leaning towards St. Lucia because it's gorgina. It's so pretty. So we could hike one day. We could do like a boat thing. I'm also trying to figure out the elopement part. Again, I think we are going to do a courthouse prior. Therefore, we don't really need a lot of planning. But number one, I would love photos. I would love to set up like a photographer. I would love to set up like a private dinner, or maybe that's like a sunset boat cruise that we can do our vows and just have like a really intimate night. Like my perfect day will be like waking up, getting coffee, obviously, going on a walk or a hike, like spending the day just doing something fun, getting back to our room, maybe taking a nap, getting ready, doing photos, having our little private thing, and then whatever the night has in store, a little hot tub at our place, like a special day. And I'm realizing I might need to consult with somebody. Well, that's the other thing. I'd been Googling on TikTok, like all of these places. That way I can see people's videos. And then now I'm getting them on my For You page, but I'm also getting travel agents. And I'm like, should I like get a travel agent where they like, this one girl in specific popped up and she is like a wedding and honeymoon planner, and I'm like, surely she would know information on like this kinds of stuff, these kinds of things, and maybe I could ask her to like help me plan this all out. I'm not really sure, but that's where I'm at with that. Okay, Friday, I finally saw my best friend Natalie. I take the car from Carter and I drive to SMU because this performance is always at the theater at SMU, and I get there at 11 a.m. Oh my gosh, you guys, I had a coffee obviously in my Yeti, and I was thinking, because Nanny Girl also, her performances were here, so I would always take her to rehearsal here and then the performance obviously. I remembered that there's always a security guard at front who says, no drinks. And I was thinking as I was driving there, I said, do they do it for the rehearsal? I couldn't remember, but I had a really bad feeling about it. Well, I text Natalie. Wait, let me pull up our text. I texted her at 10:45 because that's when I drove over there. And I said, if they don't let me bring, oh, this is exactly what I said, 10:46 a.m. If they don't let me bring my coffee in, I'll sue. Okay, that's all I said. She was obviously busy. 11:01 when I got there. I'm suing. You guys, I was trying to be so big and bad and bold, and actually the opposite of big, bad, and bold. I tucked my Yeti in my sweatshirt and I held it in a way that it looked like casual, right? Like there's definitely not a coffee under my arm. Well, I park on the street, I walk on over, I come up the big steps and I walk in the door, and here's the security woman, and I'm just casually holding it, and I walk in, I'm like, hi, and she starts walking towards me and she's like, hey, just like a reminder, no drinks. She can't see it, but it's like Probably not that hard to guess that it's like stuffed in my thing, but I was like, there was a split moment where I was like, do I just keep it moving and say, nope, I'm good, I don't have it? And then she'll ask me, or she won't ask me, or do I turn around immediately? I'm a little fucking wimp. I turn around, I'm like, oh, sorry, and I like pull it out. So then I go back to my car. It's like 100 degrees, I'm sweating my tits off, and then I come back in with my sweatshirt. I'm like, oh, sorry about that. Like, I very much had it hid and tucked in my sweatshirt, but she was cool. She was like, no worries, it's fine, go on in. They have a table there, and I forgot about this. Outside, like, again, it has this area, and then there are the doors to the actual theater where you can set it, right? But I'm like, I'm not gonna go back and forth. I'll just go put it in my freaking car. I walk in, and the girls are running through the rehearsal. Y'all, the little girls are like the cutest things that I've ever seen. I can't even take it. And while I was sitting there, Natalie was a big part of the first section, which was ballet. She was like front and center on the stage, walking everybody through like the dances, so on and so forth. But this was like Little Mermaid themed. And as I was sitting there watching, number one, amongst all of these like Highland Park moms or all of these like Dallas moms with their little daughters, well, it obviously goes up to high school as well, but like I only really care about, actually that's not true, the older girls are so good. I just love dance. And this is what I was thinking when I was sitting there. I was like, if we have a daughter, I wonder what we're gonna put her in. Like, one part of me, I'm like, that would be so cute and fun and fresh. But like, I also would really love if she played like volleyball or soccer or something like not dance, like more, I don't know the right word, just like a traditional, not that dance isn't a traditional sport, but like just not dance or gymnastics or something like that, which are like insane sports. And like those girls are incredible. But I also feel like it's one of those things which all sports are becoming this way. Me and Carter actually talked to one of the moms or the parents at Nanny Dad's birthday. Their daughter, who is Nanny Girl's age, they're what, in the 6th grade? She was in competitive cheer from like 2nd grade to like 5th grade. Competitive cheer. She's like 5 fucking years old to like 10 years old, right? Maybe not 5. And it's so serious and so demanding. And she finally just up and quit. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I was asking them, because this was like Nanny Girl's best friend. Therefore, I would drop her off. I would take them around, so on and so forth. Like, I know them pretty well. They're like, nope, she's done with it. She's over it. But now she's doing volleyball and she's in 6th grade. But they're like, it's travel and it's fall and it's spring. And it's like, nowadays, if you want your child to play a sport in like these bigger metropolitan areas, you have to start them so young, and they have to be committed to one sport. Like me growing up in North Dakota, we played everything. Like there's not that many kids. I mean, at my school there was, because I went to a bigger high school, but like you play all of the sports. Well, in big cities, like you don't do that because you won't be the best at everything. Not that you need to be the best, but like to be good, you kind of have to specialize. And like I realized that it was that way in Minneapolis because I did like Junior Olympics volleyball, and we would go to these big tournaments, and like that's all these girls did. Like I would talk to girls from other teams, and it's like they only played volleyball. And I'm like, no, I do soccer, and I did track for a while, and I obviously bowled, and I played basketball at one time. But like once I went into high school, yeah, volleyball was in the fall, soccer was in the spring, bowling was in the fall. And some other girls, like, you know, they did volleyball in the fall, basketball in the winter, and then they did track in the spring. Like you just played everything. There weren't a lot of people that specialized. And that's just not how it is in these big cities. And it's like, she's a 6th grader. Like, why is it so goddamn serious? But that's the thing, especially with things like dance and gymnastics, you can start them at 3 years old, but then that's what you're doing. It's like dance. That's what Nanny Girl does. She's a dancer, and now she's in all of the dances. And I'm like, I would just want my daughter and son, like whoever, whatever we have, to try everything. And like, no, of course you don't have to do these things, but I really feel like dance in specific, like that's what you do, or gymnastics. There's not a lot of multi-sport people or girls that do gymnastics and dance and something else, right? I feel like it might be more common to do like what I did, like volleyball and soccer potentially, or like maybe volleyball and tennis or track or whatever the thing is. And I think just I would prefer something else. Like I love dance, don't get me wrong, and I love gymnastics, and I did them for a very short period of time, but like again, I just don't want to start her in that, and then that's all she does. Like I hope that when we have kids, like when they're 4, 5, 6, they do, you know, the little t-ball, and then they do soccer, and then they try like whatever it is, I don't know. Things that I'm thinking about that like really I have no control over and I don't even know what the situation is going to be. But I also think about, and like this is just a tale as old as time, like dads, how much they just like really don't like dance, which like of course they support their daughters, but like I was in dance. My dad came, but I get it. Like nanny dad would always kind of like make jokes because the recital day, it's like all day long. And the dances are like one's at 8 a.m., one's at noon, and one's at 5 p.m., which is like support your child. It's one day. But I do kind of understand it is like a whole ordeal, especially when you get into competition. That's a whole day event. I don't know. It's like that with any other sport, but like I just really like volleyball specifically. Like if I have a daughter, I would really hope, but I don't want to force them to do anything. I don't want to be one of those fucking parents who's like, you're playing that sport and that's what you're doing. I want them to have autonomy. I want them to do whatever. If you sign up for something, you're fucking doing it. You're not quitting in the middle of a season. But like if you decide you don't want to do it, like that little girl, her parents, I'm so proud of them because they put a lot of time, money, energy, resources into her doing cheer. She came home and said she didn't want to do it anymore. And at the season end, they said, of course, like that's fine. Like you get to choose. I love that. And then now they're doing the volleyball thing because she wants to do volleyball. Like I don't want to make my kid do sports that they don't want to do. I would love, because me and Carter want to get into golf, I would love to do like golf as a family. I definitely do not want my sons to get into it like seriously, because as you guys know, I dated a golfer and like they're all mentally ill. Like golf is one of those sports that's like all mental. Bowling is obviously like a way downgraded version, but bowling is the same way. It's like the repetitive motion. It's the same thing. Of course, a golf course is a little bit different and like the lanes have different oil patterns, but like it's the same movement. It really is mental in golf, like to the nth degree, to the 1000th degree. But the guy that I dated and all of his friends, like they were all trying to be professionals and like they were all just like unwell. I'm like, y'all just get a normal job and like start working. Like this is not working out. But who am I? I don't want to crush their hopes and dreams. But that was the thing. They were all like late 20-year-old men who like still had this dream of doing professional golf. I'm like, at what point? Like, give it up. I feel like with other sports, like, yeah, maybe, hopefully, and another hope of me and Carter's is that our children do a sport and can maybe play college. That way we don't pay for college, because if college is as expensive as it is now, what's it going to be in 20 years when our kids are going to college? It's going to be so expensive. Therefore, if they could get a scholarship, that would be incredible. Obviously, Carter got a football scholarship. He then got injured and then his parents paid for his undergrad. But like that would be ideal, right? And amazing. But I feel like golf, like these men I'm talking about, you have the potential of going pro at any time and there's not like a cutoff. Whereas with football, like you might play college, you either then finish or you go to the draft if you're actually that good, but there's like a hard cutoff. Like once you're done with college, you're done. All of these fucking golfers, like they just then moved over, got sponsored. It's like this really weird fucking thing. I'm like, I don't want our son to turn out like that. Like I want to do golf as like a fun family sport, but I don't want them to be doing that forever. You know, like all of these other sports have a hard cutoff. Like you then play volleyball in college and then you're probably done, depending. Maybe then you do beach or you do whatever, like overseas. I don't know, which whatever. Those are just my thoughts on that. Anywho, Natalie was busy. Of course, they got backed up. She finished. We then hopped on over to Chop Shop, which I love Chop Shop. You guys, I get the teriyaki chicken bowl and then I do 2 things of sweet potatoes. Chop Shop, if you don't know, I think it's actually called the original Chop Shop, which I'm not sure who the fake Chop Shop is, but whatever. It's kind of like Flower Child-ish. It's just like healthier dishes and bowls. Like they have teriyaki bowls where you can kind of add and subtract. It's not like a kava where you can wholeheartedly pick, like it's out in front of you. They have itemized things, but they have like acai bowls. They just have like healthier dishes. Love it. Wonderful. We got that. And then Natalie was like, can we take this back over and just like go sit in one of the back rooms because I want to make sure I'm not late. She was supposed to have an hour and a half, but the rehearsal day, they are allotted 10 minutes per dance. That way they can run through it. really it's to like make sure they're on the stage standing in the right spot. Like the little girls, you guys, it kills me. These little like 4, 5, 6 year olds, like they're looking around, they're following each other, like they don't know what they're doing. And this is what Natalie and I were talking about. Like some of the teachers would like go through it with these little girls. It's like when tomorrow comes around, they're not going to remember any of this. Like that's part of the enjoyment of the little girls dancing. Like it's just so precious because some of them do know what they're doing, but others they're looking around. Like it's just so cute. I'm like, why are these girls going over the 10 minutes with their 4, 5, 6-year-old girls? Like this isn't going to change anything. No offense. Like these little girls, they're not going to remember anything that happened today. Like just have them run through it so they know what it's like on stage. And then tomorrow, like, is it really that big of a deal? I don't think so, but that's just me. But we went back and honestly, they had gotten through like not even 2 dances because the older girls, like Kitty would stop them and then like go through everything. It was crazy. But anyways, we got to sit and eat and chit chat, and Natalie was going to go home. She actually flew out on Monday. She's gone this whole week. Her family's from Mississippi and she was going to see her family because, reminder, this weekend is Dad's Day. This Sunday is Dad's Day. Don't forget, if you have a good father, to wish him a happy Dad's Day and grandfather. But if you don't have a good father, actually my best friend Natalie, she doesn't have a dad. She never had a dad. She's never met her dad. He was never in the picture. And therefore she's going to spend it with her grandpa, her mom's dad, which I think is amazing. But I did want to send you guys that little reminder. What else happened this weekend? Honestly, me and Carter on Saturday night, like I looked at him, I'm like, what are we doing? Well, here is the other thing, which I'm sure I've talked about this. I get sent nowadays, which is like a THC beverage. It's like one of those THC infused drinks. And every once in a while, like we've had this one for a really long time and Carter and I will have it. It honestly just puts me to bed. And that's the thing. So Saturday we were doing nothing. We had already gone on our walk. We had already done whatever we were going to do. And Carter's like, do you want to have some? Like, we'll just relax and watch TV and whatever. I'm like, sure, fine. Well, I end up taking a nap and it hits Carter a lot harder than it hits me. Like, I must just be a tank because I don't really always feel the effects, but he does. Well, like I wake up from my nap because it just puts me out. He's still feeling it a little bit and he's playing his game on his phone. And then we just sit there and I kind of got like annoyed and I didn't realize that it had hit him as much as it did. I'm like, babe, like I told you yesterday, because on Friday night I was like, can we be intentional with this weekend? Like last weekend it just went by. We didn't really do anything. We went on our walks and stuff, but like during the day it's like, let's go to Top Golf or let's go. And I know that I'm the one who's crazy about our finances and not spending a lot of money, but I'm like, let's just, we don't even need to go out to eat. Like, let's go get burgers at the grocery store. But like, I want to make sure we're like maximizing our time together. It's so easy to fall into these like habits and patterns of just like sitting on the couch and watching TV aimlessly. But then it's like last weekend, Sunday rolled around and I'm like, what do we have to show for our weekend? Like, really, what do we have to show? And he was like, no, I know. And it's important to veg out. And like, he's obviously in the office all week, but Saturday night I felt that like feeling kind of happen and he had left. He went and like hung out with his friend in the morning, which like I should have done something, but Natalie was at the recital and I don't know, I didn't have anything pressing to do. And Saturday night rolled around and I was like, babe, what are we doing? And he's like, no, I know. He's like, that drink really hit me and like I don't really want to do anything because we had talked about going to Top Golf. But he's like, tomorrow will be better. And then I don't remember what we did, but we like, we played a ton of games. We played Yahtzee. We played Sequence. I literally lost every game. And honestly, I'm getting much better at being a good sport. It didn't really sour my whole entire mood like it typically does. But that was super fun. I love when we play board games, like things like that. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, but just like intentional time where we're talking and hanging out. And I know Carter has been really stressed again about work and he actually is talking about maybe going back to school and getting his MBA, which I am in full support of. However, it's just hard because I've told you guys he doesn't want to be an attorney forever and he just kind of like doinks around with all of these ideas, which we've all been there. We've all been at a point with our career where we're like, what the fuck am I doing? Is this what I want to do? He knows he doesn't want to be an attorney, but he doesn't really know how to make it to the next step, which he's only been an attorney for like 9 months, but he really feels like maybe getting an MBA would be helpful. And I'm all in support, but I'm like, holy shit. Therefore, all weekend long, he was kind of like stewing and thinking about it. And I get it. Like, he was kind of in that rut feeling, when I remember at about every single time between jobs for me, I go into this place and you kind of just start analyzing everything and it just puts you in a funk. That's where he was. And I wanted to respect that. I'm like, I get it. Like, let's just veg out. Totally good. But like, let's make a plan then. Like, if that's something you're thinking about, let's kind of plan it out and see what our options are. Carter is just like so ambitious and he just so badly wants to be in something that he likes and also has like trajectory to do more and have his own business. And we talked about this before, like a long time ago, before he even started working. He was like, I feel like I should get an MBA. He like stressed that he should have gotten a business major and like obviously was having regrets. And we had all of these conversations with nanny dad and like every path is different and it'll all work out. But he just, again, has kind of been in this spiral place, which I totally understand. But anyways, let's get into some other funny things. You guys, oh my gosh. We were sitting here. I finished, what book was I reading? Riley Sager, Lock Every Door. And I shit you not, and this is going to be TMI and TMI for Carter's sake. And I apologize, Carter. Should I be saying this? Well, he sleeps naked. Okay, let me just say it quickly and like that'll make it fine. He sleeps naked and he came into the room the other day. Oh my gosh, he would be so mad probably that I'm saying this. It doesn't matter. You guys are chill. He was laying on the bed on his stomach and therefore his butt cheeks were in the air. And like I took the photo of the book to post on my story, but I intentionally took it that way his butt cheeks were in the photo. And I turned it to him. I said, is this okay if I post this on my story? And he's like, babe! We were dying. And I took it, you guys, in the Instagram app. Like, I literally was taking it, but like, that was not intentional. But then he's like, oh my gosh, is that on the Instagram app? He's like, be careful. Like, you could accidentally press a button. We were cracking up. And then I obviously pushed it to the side and didn't post that. But that was honestly like the hardest I've laughed in a really long time. Can you imagine? I'm like, what would people think? I'm like, how many people would notice? Because it was like dark in here. Anywho, I need to not talk about that because he would probably not be pleased. However, let me check my notes app. Oh my gosh, you guys, obviously May dog. I didn't want to start this episode talking about her again because I was like, I know a lot of people are dog people. I know not everybody is a dog person. I also know it's like sometimes when people talk about their dog or their kid, it's like, it's not my kid. I don't give a fuck. And I don't want to bore you guys with all of May dog's like details, but we had this appointment and I low-key was spiraling all weekend long. And this is why I started looking up elopement things because we were chilling out, not doing much. But if my mind was going to this sedation and like this anesthesia for May dog, I would Google things and it was scary because here's the thing. We all know French bulldogs are not supposed to be bred. I don't really know the ins and outs. Obviously, I didn't buy her. I've never done a lot of research on them. I think they're the cutest fucking dogs in the world and they're the best dogs. She is literally a perfect little angel who's never done anything wrong, but they have issues. Again, the flat face, it's like all of those types. What is that called? Breaky, actually, let me Google this. Let's all learn how to pronounce things today. Breaky, what type of dog are French bulldogs? Obviously they're French bulldogs, but there's a name for that. Brachycephalic. Let me look that up. Brachycephalic. Let's put define and let's have them say it.
Brachycephalic.
Oh, brachycephalic. Wait, one more time, sir.
Brachycephalic.
Brachycephalic, having a relatively broad, short skull, usually with the breadth at least 80% of the length. Anyways, let me see what other dogs are brachycephalic. I think it's like pit bulls, maybe not pit bulls, actually. What breeds of dogs? Okay, French bulldogs, English bulldogs, Boston terriers, pugs, Cavalier King Charles spaniels, shih tzus, and boxers. Those are types of brachycephalic dogs, and they have breathing issues because of the short snout and this and that. This is also why they recommend that which why would you ever do this to any kind of dog? But like people who fly their dogs on a plane and put them below, like with the luggage, like not up where people say, people put their dogs in crates and have them shipped. You especially cannot do that. I don't think you should do that ever. But with this type of dog, brachycephalic, with the short noses, like dogs have died because they have a hard time breathing and the air down there isn't like really circulated. There are just certain risks associated with these types of dogs, and Maydog is that. And therefore anesthesia, there's so many horror stories because with the anesthesia, something going wrong because they can't breathe and so on and so forth. If you look it up, you'll find a million stories about dogs passing away by being put under. And I'm not saying this to scare anybody, but it's like WebMDing when you have something wrong with you. Like I went down the rabbit hole and then I'm like, oh my God, are we doing this? Like it's one thing if this was like a life-saving surgery, but it's like just teeth cleaning. It's just cleaning her teeth, which is important because she can get gum disease, but it's not like absolutely necessary, right? And I look at Carter and I'm like, should we be doing this? Like they say French bulldogs, and I'm like, I'm sure it's fine. Like they don't make it seem like a big deal, and I'm sure they've done tons of Frenchers. And like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like they don't know what they're doing, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, what if she goes under and like something goes wrong? I just like was going there, right? I've also never had her have a surgery. I've never taken her to the vet and dropped her off. Like it was just so many things that were like making me really just like scared and nervous and anxious and sad and like all of these feelings. Well, it was set for Tuesday and I called them on Monday because I read online that you're supposed to fast, and they actually sent a text, but because Carter took her into this vet and it wasn't the standard vet, we go to the VCA. Again, I explained this last week. I typically go to one, he went to another, and I really like this other one. I really liked the last one before. They've all been amazing, but his information is on everything. Oh my gosh, when we went to pick her up, they keep calling her Miss and then Carter's last name. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's a Berg. It's May Berg, which obviously we're all going to be that. But Carter looked at me and smiled. He goes, oh yeah. I'm like, fuck you. How dare you? That's my little girl, Miss. I'm like, whatever. Anywho. And when I actually myself checked in, they called me Miss so on and so forth. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm already married. Anywho. He took her in, and therefore he's getting all of the texts and the things. Well, I go on to the VCA app and I actually changed her primary, and then most of the stuff popped up, but it still had all of Carter's information. He texted me on Monday, the morning, like 9:30 a.m. and sent me a screenshot, and they sent him a text like confirming your appointment tomorrow. Make sure she doesn't eat after 10 p.m. And if she's taking a drug, please call and ask us, or like call, that way we can verify that everything's good, if she should or should not take it. And therefore I called Monday morning because the surgery was Tuesday, or the thing. It wasn't a surgery per se. Well, maybe it was. And I'm like, hi, like my name's Brenna, blah, blah, blah. We have May coming in tomorrow. These are the meds. And she's like, yep, she's good. And I'm like, if I call you back today, I'm kind of like a little bit nervous. And she's like, nope, totally fine. We get it. Please call. Like, we're happy to alleviate any stress. And I'm like, thank you so much. I ended up not calling. There's nothing else I needed confirmation on. We go to bed and we wake up, and poor sweet May couldn't eat, but I'm like, okay, let's go there at 8 a.m. They said drop off between 8 and 8:30, and Carter's like, why are you taking her sooner? But I'm like, maybe if I can get her in sooner, she'll get out sooner. And actually they did tell me that it was kind of a first come first serve, except the doctor comes in and they had 6 surgeries and looks at like the order and what would be best. Well, I drop her off at 8, and then like my whole day yesterday, you guys, Tuesday, was a wreck. Like I could not think about anything else. Like I would slowly get distracted, and then I would think about her, and then I was Googling things, and then I was stressing, and I was like, oh my gosh, is she sedated? Like you don't really know what's going on. Well, like 11:30, they text like, we're getting her into procedure now. I'm like, oh my God, she's been there since 8. Like I thought she was already good and done. Like, oh my God. I'm like, what the fuck? Well, Carter comes home early. He had a business lunch, and he's like, do you mind if I come home? Like work was slow. And I'm like, yes. So then we're both sitting here, but I'm like, oh, I'm like trying to do things. I'm like cleaning. I'm going to the donation. I went and got my nails done right at 9:30, but I like wanted to be available that way if they called. Oh my gosh, on the paper when I dropped her off, it's like, if something life-threatening happens, like, are we able to do, life-saving measures? Like, yes or no? Like, if we can't reach you, I'm like, oh my God, like all of these things that just like put terrible thoughts in your head. It was fine. I did, however, and this is what I wanted to talk about. I started and finished the documentary on Alex Cooper. It's called Call Her Alex. If you don't know, Alex Cooper started Call Her Daddy, the podcast. She's insane. She's wildly successful. I love her. She's amazing. This documentary was really good. And I just love any documentary. Put me on or in front of a documentary of a person I don't know. I will love them by the end of it. I just like seeing real people talk about real life shit. It was incredible. And that honestly distracted me for a good bit. I started that at like 11 while I Googled like stories for Monday's podcast, and it kept me distracted. And then they called or texted right as she was done. Actually, no, they called me, and the lady was like a front desk staff, and she was like, "Hi, Brenna, like, we're just calling." And when I got there in the morning, they gave me quotes. They were like, okay, the little ones, because they weren't sure if they were going to have to extract any teeth. It was like a teeth cleaning, but they were pretty sure they were going to have to extract some, because another thing with French bulldogs, and I think a lot of little dogs, like I remember LaDonna and Gordy, their chihuahuas had so many teeth pulled. These dogs have 42 teeth, but like think about that in their little mouth. Therefore, a lot of them have to get teeth extracted or like things go wrong, and that's common for French bulldogs. Well, May has already had a tooth fall out one time, and her teeth have been so bad for a while, which is totally my fault. But they foresaw they would have to pull probably some teeth. Well, she calls and she's like, actually, one of her small teeth that was like really loose fell while we were cleaning it. We are not going to charge you for that. But she's like, there are 5 teeth that it's probably good for them to go. And those were all quoted at like 1 something. And I'm like, of course, like if they need to be taken out, if they're not good, take them out. Fine. Well, they call me at like 12:30 and she's like, hi, like May's doing wonderfully. I'm like, oh my God, thank God. I was like, first off, how's she doing? They're like, she's doing great. The teeth cleaning is going great. We are going to have to take out 5 teeth. Is that okay? Because they want to confirm before, that you can pay it. That's why you go over the quotes, so on and so forth. And I'm like, of course, do what you need to do. Well, we get off the phone. I'm like, thank you guys so much. Another hour goes by, another 2 hours. And Carter, like within all of this time, is like, should we call? Should we check in? Whatever. I'm like, quit being an overbearing parent. Like I was also freaking out, but I'm not going to call them. Like they're in the thing. They're doing the thing. Like what are they going to be able to tell us? That she's good? I don't want to be that overbearing parent. Well, like 2:30, he called because it had been about 2 hours since they said she went in, and like at least 30 minutes or maybe an hour after they called to tell us or like ask about the tooth extractions, he's like, I just want to check. So he called and they were like, we were actually just about to text you. She's awake. Like we're going to send you a photo. Will you guys come at 4:30 or after 4:30? Because the biggest part apparently, or like obviously the procedure, but it's like waking up from the anesthesia and making sure they're okay and like bleeding and all of that. Like the recovery process is like a couple of hours because they don't want to send home your dog and like something goes wrong, obviously. And we're like, oh my gosh, amazing. Well, we get this photo of May. It's like hysterical. She like is wide-eyed. She looks insane in this photo. I'm like, our poor girl, but she's awake. Like obviously the weight is lifted off of my chest. And finally, like I sold some stuff on Poshmark. I'm like, Carter, I'm going to go do this. I'm like, again, trying to get busy, stay busy. I'd finished the Alex Cooper documentary. It was only 2 episodes of like probably 50 minutes each. And then I came back, I picked him up, and we go and we sit in the lobby, and the doctor comes out, not with May first, but she comes out with the medicine. She's like, okay, you guys are already on this painkiller from like her spinal thing 2 weeks ago. That'll be good. We have this other tablet that will help with recovery. She explained everything. She's like, we went in there. She's like, honestly, it was not as bad as I thought. I'm glad we got that taken care of. Her teeth are white. They showed us pictures. They sent us home with pictures. The doctor is amazing. And I think I might have called her the wrong name. You guys, her name is Ashley Hurd. Do you remember that woman who dated that one guy or married to that one guy, Amber Heard, who was in the thing? I might have called her Amber. I keep, for whatever reason, because I keep seeing Dr. A. Heard, and then I just put in Amber because that was my brain. And I'm like, I swear to God, if I called her Amber, I'd feel so bad. It's Ashley. She is amazing. She like so thoroughly went through everything with us. She's like, May, is still like having a hard time moving around. Like she just can't really walk right now, but I'll go grab her. She's good. She's been amazing. She's such a sweet little pup. Let me go grab her. And she brings her out, and this dog is high as a kite. She's like wide-eyed, but then they would close. And then I go up and pay. Do we all want to guess how much? Take your guesses. I told you the extractions were over $100 each. There were 5 extractions. Let's all take a guess. The medication with this care club thing, though, that I explained last week, it's not pet insurance exactly, but it's like a maintenance thing through the VCA that's $100 a month. They did not charge for the anesthesia. They did not charge for any of the other stuff. It was strictly extractions and medications. $751, which honestly, if that thing did not cover the dental, you get like 1 dental cleaning a year. Again, this is like the doctor also said, or the vet, doctor, whatever. She was like, we should probably do this once a year. I think it'd be good. But she's like, I do, number 1, come back in 2 weeks. So I set up an appointment for June 23rd to come back in and do just a checkup. That way she can make sure the sutures are all good and so on and so forth. But she's like, I would love to send you home with some dental stuff next time. And then it's still good. She's like, a lot of our older dogs, we just have an annual teeth cleaning. And I'm like, no, that makes perfect sense. Let's do it. I'm in. However, right, we get this dog and we get home and y'all, she is just so out of it. It's like so comical, but also so sad at the same time. And finally though, like at 8, well, this was really bad. We got these stairs. That way she quits jumping because I don't want to hurt her spine. I get up and I ask Carter because she didn't eat that morning. She hasn't eaten anything all day. They obviously do fluids during the surgery and therefore she's like peeing. That's fine. But she hasn't eaten since last night. I mean, surely, you know, the doctor was like, she probably won't eat just because like the anesthesia, she probably won't be hungry. It just kind of affects your appetite. I'm like, let me at least, I was like, I really want to give her this painkiller because I don't want her to be in pain during the night, right? And the doctor said if we can give her the painkiller, I'm like, let me just put it in peanut butter. Well, you guys, she's in her bed on the couch. I walk over and I open the door. That's the peanut butter. She sees me. She jumps out. And I actually, like an hour before this, picked her up out of the bed because we got home at like 5. I probably at 7 picked her up and I'm like, she should probably go potty. Like the doctor said, she probably has to peel out from the fluids. Well, I set her down on the balcony because I wasn't going to take her all the way down. Like she can go there. That's fine. She could like barely stand. She like fell into her butt. She kind of wobbled and I was like, oh, baby girl, no. So I put her back. Well, like an hour later, I go and open this. Y'all, she jumps off the couch, doesn't use the stairs. I'm like, May, she can't really feel her legs. She's like kind of wobbling, but she lands and she like runs over to me, kind of like weird, but she was like up. I'm like, oh my God, well, at least she's hungry. So I pick her up and put her back. And then I have her eat this peanut butter and like the medicine. She licks it right up. She has it. I'm like, amazing. I'm like, babe, should I give her food? But I also don't want to upset her tummy. Like you want to have some food with the medicine. That way, like it doesn't make her sick, but I also don't want her to overeat and get sick from that. I did like a third of what I normally do, maybe even a little less, put it in her bowl and brought it over and she ate it. Therefore, she ate, which honestly, the doctor was like, would be a good sign. That way her appetite's back, all good things. She a little bit like her face was resting on her paw. Every once in a while there'd be like a little speck of blood, but the doctor, she like is so thorough. She's like, there might be a little bit of bloody drool. That's fine. She's like, she also might pee like a little bit pinkish red because of the fluids. Normal. She's like, she probably won't poop for a day or 2, but if it goes on past 2 days, like bring her in. She would just like is so thorough and that made me feel so good. But then we go to bed. I obviously had her sleep next to me and all was good. We wake up. She's still a little bit off. Y'all, she also, I'm not sure if it's because she's still a little bit high or this is going to be the new normal. Her front to top lips keep getting stuck on her 2 big teeth on the bottom. She looks like a literal walrus. Her mouth or her lips keep getting stuck. Like we'll look at her and both of her teeth, like I'm not kidding, I'll post a photo. She looks like a walrus and I can't even take it. It's like killing me. I'm like, I wonder if this is gonna be her new normal. Like it's constantly happening. And then I'll touch her lip, but whatever, not the end of the world. She looks so freaking precious and all is well. Okay, what else did I want to update you on? I finished that book, I said, and now y'all, which the Riley Sager one was good. I loved it. Lock Every Door. Highly recommend. I started, and I'm almost about halfway through this Lisa Jewell, The Family Remains. And y'all told me it's a second book, but I don't think it's necessary that you read the first. This is so good. It is, I will say, I recommended Lucy Foley to you guys a long time ago, but there's always a lot of characters. This at the beginning, every single chapter, which they're short chapters, there's like a pair, there's another girl, there's another guy, there's like 3 or 4 sets or different people, and they're all a little bit related, kind of, and it's jumping to and from in time. It takes a second to get a hold of, but the characters are so interesting, and like it's so just like page turner. Not that anything juicy is going on, but like this is amazing. Highly recommend already. I'll definitely finish this soon. What else has happened? Oh, this morning I actually posted this on my run vlog, which I'm so sad that people aren't enjoying my run vlogs. I don't know if the algorithm just isn't pushing it out or people aren't liking it. If you've seen them, let me know what you think. I've enjoyed making them. More of like the lifestyle content, I think, is good. Anywho, I caught on film this morning Carter when we woke up because I was giving him an update on how May was doing. And something about Carter is he is like an ad lib king. Like he will take lyrics from a song and like create a different song. Well, this morning he started singing, I remember when I had my teeth. Or wait, did he say had all my teeth? Before I went to the VCA, he made a song for May. I was dying. Oh my gosh, our poor little girl. Anywho, I also went on a run this morning, and I apologize about all the Amazon things lately, y'all. I'm just trying to do my job as an influencer, but I will say everything that I've talked about, loved these workout sets, the little tank tops and the shorts, the matching, so cute. And I talk about this all the time, I want to be a fashion bitch. Not that fashion bitches really wear athleisure, but like coords and like sets, if you catch my drift, like matching top and skirt, like something that's easy like that. I just wish all of my clothes were matching. Like I'm so bad at putting together like bottoms and tops, and I just don't care enough. But I have been loving the CRZ yoga little tops and bottoms. They have the same exact colors. The shorts or the top is $28 and the bottoms are like $32, so like $50 or $60. They always do sales. Loving those. I actually just got in the mail. I started using one of those, not like a loofah, but the silicone to do body wash. Well, actually, I've been doing it for like a really long time now, probably a year. But the one I got was from Target and it was cheap, but it had like, honestly, I was so mad because Carter's is way better. It has like this knob on the back that you can hold and use. Well, mine, part of the 3 holes that I put my fingers in, one of them broke and it's just like impossible to use. I ordered on Amazon and it just came this morning, one with a knob. It's pink. It was like $6 to wash my body. That came in amazing. I got my Amazon jewelry, which I'm so excited about, which I have, and this is coming out on Friday. So last night I have a event and it's at this like private social club, but it's for Colleen Rothschild Beauty. Colleen Rothschild's going to be there herself. It's just like a, influencer event or whatever. And it is, I'm not really sure what the attire is. I think cocktail, because it's like cocktails, bites, whatever. It's an evening thing. Y'all, it's so hot in Dallas. What do I wear? I think I'm going to go to the mall. I'm not sure why I glitched there today because it's raining, and what the fuck else am I going to do? To go find maybe at Aritzia one of those matching like tank with the buttons and short matchy things. Like I feel like that's dressed up, but it's not like, I don't know if I need like a cocktail dress like that. Just, I want something casual, and I would like something short because it's so hot. It's actually been so stormy in Dallas this week. I don't really know. I have such a hard time also dressing for certain events. I'm like, what is the vibe? They should have put what the attire is, and that's a miss on their part. No offense, you guys, but like, why wouldn't you? It's an influencer event. Like typically they have guidelines. This one did not. It's just like, join us for a refreshing night. They launched this new shampoo and conditioner, which I'm actually going to start like literally tomorrow. If I wash my hair tomorrow. I just ran out of my Living Proof curl shampoo and conditioner, and I'm going to start that. However, it's just like a launch thing, and Colleen Rothschild's going to chit chat with us, whatever. But put an attire, like put a little memo. And that's the thing. I don't mind being overdressed, but I'm just not like a naturally overdressy person. Like I'm just such a more casual athletic bitch. Therefore, I feel like the shorts and the tank will work. You know where I really want to start shopping, and I wanted to talk to you guys about this? Reformation. And I know it's expensive, but I do want to start, investing in quality clothes, which I think they are quality. They have the cutest, like simple, perfect basics. They have tops, they have dresses, they have sets, which is what I really would like to lean towards. I feel like it's just very like, it's almost like Aritzia, like just very good, basic, but also like just dresses and matching sets that are like, maybe not basic per se, but just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like good, just like plain, like colored tops and bottoms. I don't know. I need to go in there, but the store kind of like really scares me. Aritzia, I understand people hating it because the changing rooms don't have mirrors inside of the rooms. If you don't know this lore, like they don't have mirrors in the changing room. You have to leave and they have mirrors out in like this like open area. And sometimes there's like men sitting there, boyfriends, and like the saleswomen are trying to like talk to you. And like, it's just kind of is annoying. I never like try on things there. I go in and then just buy and then return if I have to. Reformation, on the other hand, they're a store that like in North Park Mall, and they also have one on Knox Henderson here. It's like one of those small stores where they have everything just like hanging on a rack, and you have to like speak to the person to get your size, or like it's just so small and intimate, and I hate that. Like I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk to the person. I want to look in peace, and then I'll get you if I need something. Therefore, I never go in there. I literally have gone into Reformation once on Knox to return something that I ordered online. That dress I was going to wear to Carter's SMU law graduation, but it was way too short. I went in to return it and like literally swiveled my head, but I'm like, no, this girl is sitting here staring at me. And the North Park one just opened, but I'm so scared to go in there. Like Aritzia, they do come up to you, but it's so big that it's easy to be like, oh, I'm just looking around. And then they scram. Right? Reformation is not that way. However, Nordstrom has Reformation in it, but they don't have everything. So I always go to Nordstrom and look there. They one time had a shirt that I wanted to try on. It didn't quite fit. But other than that, I need to just like pull the trigger and go into the store. But anyways, guys, I think that's kind of all I have. We have nothing planned this weekend again. However, I obviously know like in all of the sudden, no time, we're going to be moving. Like it's really going to come up behind our butts. I actually just got a text from my realtor and she's like, can I set up some tours? So next Tuesday night after Carter gets off work, we're going to go tour some more townhomes, homes. That's amazing. The next trip that we have is the 4th of July. We're going to Montana. I'm so freaking excited. We are going, I think on Tuesday. I just added May to the reservation because obviously we're going to take her Tuesday night. That way we're there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we'll come back Sunday. We do have to connect, which is so freaking annoying. But other than that, yeah, we don't have a lot going on. Like there is, but there isn't. Like we'll be moving soon, but that's in 2 months. Like there's a lot of like this wait period. We're kind of just like hanging out in the in between. But anyways, you guys, I hope you guys had the best week. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a great time. Please message me. Let me know how you're doing. Also, please write in. It doesn't even need to be advice. It could be a crazy story, call in, whatever you want to do. I love hearing from you guys. And I just appreciate you being here because sometimes I'm like, is this podcast necessary? Are people getting benefit out of this? Like, are you guys enjoying it? Especially after watching Alex Cooper's documentary. I'm like, she has so many listeners. I'm like, do people really care what I have to say? Which she started there also, but it's like, obviously I film this and then it comes out. What the fuck, Brenna? It comes out a little bit later. And like, I do hear from a handful of you that always like every week are like, oh my gosh, this, that, and the other. But sometimes I'm like, meh, because it's just so disconnected. Like if we were here talking, which I'm hoping that we will be able to do that sometime. I do need to go live on TikTok more. However, I have heard that Substack has like a way of interacting and like maybe doing like almost like a Zoom. I would love that because the best part about this is like connecting with you guys. And I feel like I know you and you guys know me and y'all are just so special to me. But anyways, thank you so much for being here. I will see you on Monday. Have the best weekend. And that's all I have. Okay. Bye guys.